AITA for getting a new nurse fired for accusing me of having an affair with my father. I, 27F, work as a hospital social worker at a small hospital. It's a tight-knit environment where most people know each other pretty well. And for me, that includes my dad, 51M, who is the ER day shift charge nurse. We've worked together for years now, and everyone generally knows we're related. I'm pretty close to my dad. We're both pretty sarcastic, joke around a lot, and have a good father-daughter relationship. It's not unusual for us to chat during shifts or grab dinner together afterward. For as long as I can remember, we've always made it a point to have dinner together at least once a week, just us. Sometimes my mom joins, sometimes not, but it's our thing. Nothing weird, just family. A few weeks ago, I was down in the ER helping figure out placement for an elderly patient who couldn't be discharged home safely. It was one of those rough days where everything felt like it was on fire. Once I wrapped up the paperwork and everything was sorted, I swung by the nurse's station to say goodbye to my dad before heading home. We had a quick chat in the hallway. He gave me a hug and said, "Don't be late for dinner." I laughed and joked. "I'm ordering the most expensive steak on the menu since it's your turn to pay." It was playful, lighthearted, and totally normal for us. Nothing inappropriate in any world where context exists. Well, apparently not everyone had that context. There was a new nurse, let's call her NN, new nurse, nearby. I hadn't worked directly with her yet, but I knew she was still within her 90-day probationary period. Unfortunately, NN didn't know that my dad is, well, my dad. Turns out NN heard the interaction and jumped to the absolute worst possible conclusion. Instead of maybe clarifying or asking someone, she ran straight to some other nurses and started gossiping about how the ER charge nurse, aka my dad, was having an affair with the hospital social worker, aka me. And yes, she specifically called me the social worker, like I was some homewrecker. To make it worse, NN knew my dad is married. My mom occasionally drops him lunch, so it wasn't like she didn't know he had a wife. She just apparently assumed he was the kind of guy who'd be cheating with someone nearly half his age. An older nurse I've worked with for years overheard this little gossip session and came straight to me. She didn't even try to hide how much she disliked NN. Her exact words were, "I thought you want to know before this spreads any further." And yeah, I did. I was livid. Healthcare gossip isn't just annoying, it's damaging. We deal with vulnerable people. This kind of rumor could ruin reputations, hurt families, and destroy professional trust. I debated for a bit whether I should just approach NN and set her straight, but the more I thought about it, the more I felt like this crossed a professional line that needed to be handled professionally. So I went straight to HR. I laid it out, exactly what was said, how damaging it could be, and that this wasn't some minor misunderstanding. After our shifts ended, HR scheduled a meeting. They called me, my dad, and NN in together. The HR rep, who has known both me and my dad for years, opened by asking NN to explain why she was spreading allegations. NN doubled down. Straight-faced, dead serious. She said, "I just think it's terrible that you two would carry on an affair so blatantly, especially since you're married." She looked my dad dead in the eyes and said, "You seemed like such a decent guy." My dad blinked, rubbed his face, and just sighed before going, "She's my daughter." And NN went pale. I mean, completely drained of color. Her jaw hit the floor. "Wait, what? You're serious?" she stammered. She immediately started apologizing, flustered, stumbling over her words about how she had no idea, how she never would have said anything if she knew. HR asked me and my dad to step out while they spoke with NN and the unit manager. About 20 minutes later, HR called me back in to inform me that NN was being let go, effective immediately. Since she was still in her probation period, they didn't need much justification. Gossiping like that about co-workers, especially spreading accusations of infidelity, was a massive violation of professional conduct. When I got home and told my mom what happened, well, she was not thrilled. Apparently, she had already gone full Facebook detective on NN. Don't ask me how she figured out her name. And discovered that NN is a single mom with 2 kids. My mom thought I should have confronted her privately instead of going straight to HR, knowing it might cost her her job. My dad, for his part, is just horrified that the words affair and his daughter were ever uttered in the same sentence. He's embarrassed but supportive of my decision. I don't know. I feel like I did the right thing. Healthcare isn't a place for rumor mills. If she was comfortable spreading this about coworkers, what would she say about patients? This isn't high school. This is a professional environment with real consequences. But at the same time, knowing she's a single mom makes me feel a little gross about it. My mom's not exactly wrong. I could have pulled her aside and handled it more quietly. So, AITA,